Welcome back to the Sports Card Lessons podcast and another special Sunday Night Live. Tonight, the National Pregame Show. I am back again with my man, Jonathan, at homerssportscards. Jonathan, how are you doing tonight?
I am excited. It's 3 days away, Ken, and all the weeks and months leading up to it, we're here. So, great week ahead.
Yep. We're 3 days away, right? 3 days away. I don't know if either of us are going to sleep for the next 3 days, right? But it's going to be. We were talking about that earlier today, like just being so excited about getting out there and the whole list of things that we book 26 hours a day out there, right?
I land Wednesday morning, and the excitement begins there. We pick up our passes, and then we're off.
Yep. Like a couple VIPs. So look, we got some guests here tonight. Here, if you're already here and you're watching, you see we got our man Scott here at wcocards. He is everything behind the SoCo Expo. So Scott, welcome in. Super excited. And before you say anything, I just want to say, last year we did this, right? 4 days difference. I went and I looked at the dates of it, and we're 4 days difference, just getting ready, being excited. So Scott, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing really great. I'm super excited about the event. I can't wait to be able to see everyone's faces and seeing what we really have in store for them this year. I believe that we're going to blow everybody away.
So last year, I set up there at SoCo Expo, and it was the first show you guys did. I thought you did a phenomenal job setting that up. I know the shuttle. You had the shuttles coming in, right? You had food for people to eat, right? You had a lot of celebrities showing up, like hobby celebrities showing up. Tell us this year, just some of the stuff. Now, I know you're super excited. You've been working hard all year long, and you've blown this up. So, I mean, you had it last year, and this year it looks like it's 10x. So just tell us some of the stuff you've got going on this year.
So, well, this year it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just like last year. We actually extended the hours by 2 hours each day. So we got 6 more hours of show time in total. So it now starts at 4 in the afternoon and runs till midnight. Big differences this year. The venue is about 8 times larger than last year. We have twice the number of vendors, and we have over 3 times the amount of showcases. So anyone who walks in the door is just going to be overwhelmed just with that. And then we also have bar and food on site. We have ice cream on site. We're doing a kick to win for $100,000 sponsored by Just Slab. So anybody who walks in the door can enter. We have prizes, giveaways every 15 minutes for the 24 hours of our show. We have even more security than we had last year. We've really beefed that up this year. And really just looking forward to really bringing on the world this year. I'm getting messages from people from all corners of the globe, and I'm expecting probably close to 40 different countries being represented through our doors over the course of 3 nights.
What are some of the locations people are coming from, some of the countries around the world?
I mean, Australia, Dubai, pretty much all of Europe, most of Asia. We have 4 card shops, 1 in Thailand, 1 in Shanghai, 1 in Hong Kong, and 1 in Singapore that are setting up at the show this year. And then we have guys who set up the Bangkok show, the London show, and the Dublin show. They're all setting up with us as well.
Oh, wow. That is incredible. So are you, do I have this right? They're also playing, there's going to be soccer games or like a soccer tournament or something going on during this?
Yeah, really, I'm really looking to be able to blow people away this year. You're actually going to be able to buy soccer cards standing on the field. I'm not going to spoil on how you actually get onto the field, but you actually get to have your feet on the turf and buy cards. We also have a tournament going on since we have 6 fields. So each evening, Thursday and Friday, we have the open tournament. And then on Saturdays, Kids Day, sponsored by GTS. And We have Kids Day. We have a scavenger hunt going on that day, as well as a U10 and U12 tournament, and then just tons and tons of giveaways. And then for the 3 days, we also have the Collectors Cup Field, which is essentially field day. So we have 2 different events each day for people to come out. Everything's free. Everything's free. It's free to attend. It's free to take the shuttle that we have going on 14 hours a day from our hotel, starting at 11:30 in the morning until 1:30 in the morning. So you can park at the hotel, take the shuttle right over. We have parking attendants this year. There's a staff that's there. Really just looking forward to seeing everyone's faces and just watching the excitement that everyone's had for this past year leading up to this event.
Which hotel is it that the shuttle's running from?
So it's Holiday Inn Express. It's in Hillside. Everything's listed on our website as well as on our Instagram. Those are the 2 easiest places to be able to find all the information that you need.
Nice. I know that the shuttles were super helpful last year. I mean, knowing I was set up there, and I knew every time the shuttle came, because a whole pile of people would come through the door, right? So it was when you're set up at a show and you see a whole pile of people come through the door at once, it's definitely a good time to be had. So the food seems to be upgraded, right? From ordering pizza to on-site bar and did you say restaurant or just food?
There's bar and food that's there, as well as ice cream. So this is an indoor soccer facility. The interesting and crazy part is any local who ends up going there on a normal day to watch their kid play, they have a $10 cover charge. We don't have a cover charge. It's free to attend. So we're just really looking forward to getting everybody in the door and really being able to experience what we put together this year, because it's just going to be a lot of fun.
Nice. So let's just go to the comments. Bill Oakes, what's happening, gents? There was another funny one in here that he put in. You mentioned ice cream, and he said you had him at ice cream. So that's it. I'm going now. There's ice cream. I'm going.
We got an arcade also.
What's that?
We have an arcade as well.
Oh, nice. Like the 80s arcade. Yeah.
Yep.
Sports Card, the hobby in the house. Hello. Billy is good. Howard Seller. Howard, I saw Howard today, was set up next to him at a show. Craig, New York City Sports Cards, says, Scott, I want to hear more about this Friday night tournament.
I know that Craig's excited to be able to play. We're going to be releasing the schedule this week. The open tournament starts at 6 p.m. on both Thursday and Friday. And we have really great prizes for anyone who ends up winning. We have a huge trophy for the team. We have individual medallions for each player who ends up winning. We have a t-shirt for each player who ends up winning. And then they also get a free custom card from Just Slabbed, as well as the team who's runner-up, they get a free custom card from Just Slabbed as well.
Nice. What haven't I covered? There's got to be something I haven't said that you're waiting for me to ask.
Honestly, I mean, between the Collectors Cup, the tournament, the kick to win, the scavenger hunt, the Kids Day, the bar, I mean, we've covered a great portion of it. We have a rough trade night that's going on the day before on the 30th. That's at the same hotel. It's a smaller lobby area. Considering our room block took 90 rooms out of the 135 rooms, it was really going to happen regardless if I said anything. But I am providing security. So we do have armed guards, armed security, what you saw at the show last year. I have the same thing going on for our trade night. I want everyone to be able to feel safe and comfortable. My biggest line item is security. Out of anything that we do at the show, my biggest line item, security. So, any vendors who end up popping in early, if someone's trying to sneak in without a badge, you need to get your name checked as well. We're just running a really tight ship, and I'm bringing my own video system, a camera system there. I mean, really just have every basis covered. Even if we get a last minute signer, which has been dangled in front of us, we'll see if that really happens. I've really planned for everything, and I just can't wait to be able to see everybody.
And as far as the soccer market now, and I know we're talking about a soccer show, and as far as the soccer market with cards, I was talking to somebody today, and I said, "Hey, I know the World Cup is coming next year. Is this a market that I should start investing in now, looking forward to next year?"
I mean, our market's super welcoming. I know that the soccer market's on the rise at the moment. And then we just have so many people who are coming from all over the place. We're extremely welcoming community. We are definitely different than any other sport collectible that's going on. We're warm, we're welcoming, we're nice to people. We're not trying to take $5, make $5 more from somebody else. And then we'll also have other people in the community making sure like you're not getting in a bad deal. Like, why did you rob this person? Like that doesn't happen in our space. Yeah. It's really, really a tight-knit community. And I really think that's kind of the biggest and best thing about this event is everyone speaks or everyone messages each other and everyone's in chat groups and everyone's on, Whatnot and everything else. But to actually see, touch, feel, being able to see the person right in front of you, be able to have that conversation and be able to make memories, it's definitely more about the experience than the cards. Not to say that like we're there to be able to look at a bunch of, shiny cards of dudes and or women and being able to pick up the stuff that we like. This is the largest market in the world for anyone who's looking for any soccer collectibles, period. We have more soccer cards in one room than any other place, period.
And if you're looking to buy inventory for the World Cup next year, this is probably the place to do it, right? I mean, because I know at most shows it's that represented well. Although it's growing, it was big at one point, it went down, and now it's on the rise again. But I mean, if you're looking for cards, right, for the World Cup to sock away to stash away till next year, this is probably the best place to buy some.
Yeah, I mean, you're truly shooting fish in a barrel at this place. Going to local shows, I can hit 5 a week, and I'd be lucky if I saw 1 or 2 soccer cards. So for me, it's completely social. And that's really just one more reason why this ended up starting in the first place, is I just want to see cool stuff. Yeah. And it's just not here in my backyard, or at least in quantity, to be able to do. So it's just...
The group of people that you have coming in, and this is just a question that came up, is do you travel to see them? I mean, have you gone to some of their shows in other countries and things like that? Is this a kind of a home and away for some of you guys?
It will be soon enough. I do have plans to travel overseas later this year with my wife to be able to go check out a couple shows and to just have a nice little anniversary vacation. Last year, post SoCo, I did a lot of traveling, continued with the relationships and the connections that I had made to continue to be able to build those relationships and make them stronger for this year. So I anticipate more of that. I don't know what my schedule is going to be post SoCo at this moment in time, but I do know that I am going overseas like late October, early November, to be able to spend a little time there as well.
Nice. And how do I try to get on that list to win $100,000? And if I do get on the list, can I have someone kick for me?
Well, you're going to have to sign an affidavit beforehand. And what we're doing for the kick to win, it's really, really, really easy. When you end up walking into the facility, you're going to end up passing through security and a metal detector. But prior to that, there's going to be a sign that's right there on the table. You scan that and you fill out the code and you fill out the form that the QR code takes you to. Really simple. Plug in all your information. You're automatically entered, not only for the kick to win, but for all the other giveaways that we're doing as well. So on Thursday, we're picking 10 contestants for the kick to win. Same with on Friday, we have 10 contestants there. And then on Saturday, we're picking 5 contestants. And the big kick to win's at 9 o'clock at night on Saturday night is like the cherry on top for people to be able to try to win $100,000.
Jonathan, what do you think? Is that you? You're gonna be able to get that?
I'd like to enter. I was actually at the SoCo last year. I'm not a soccer collector, but I wanted to check it out. I heard great things. And I actually rode over, to your point, it's a global event. It's a global interest, global collectors. I met two guys from Mexico who gave me a ride over to the event, and they were big soccer fans. So you just meet people who are not from the town over that might be interested in soccer, because it is a global sport. But it was a great event, very well attended, and everybody, to your point, was friendly.
Yeah, it's definitely just a fun place. I mean, I really joke and feel like, everyone's looking forward to being able to go away to like sleepaway camp. We were all excited as kids to be able to go to sleepaway camp all year, and like we're finally almost there. And so everyone's going to be able to hang out for 3 days or close to 4 days, really, in light of having 90 hotel rooms.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like a guy's trip, right? Although the hobby is very welcoming to the women, it's like a guy's trip.
We have a number of women. Well, we have a number of women vendors this year as well, which is fantastic. We're continuing to see the numbers grow, and within also with a family day and kids day on Saturday, we're just opening the doors to everybody and the community out, as well. So we're just looking forward to seeing everybody and just having a great time.
Yeah, super excited. Jonathan and I have plans to come over.
Awesome.
Come over and hang out. Yeah. So anything else before we let you go? I want you to tell everybody, if they have any other questions, if there's something they need, any information, where they can find it. They need to reach out to you, where they can find you.
Well, the easiest place to message me is going to be on Instagram, and that's the SoCo Expo. For all the information, any updates, you're going to find that on Instagram as well as the website. The website's thesocoexpo.com. We have a ton of information there, and from everything from the schedule for the shuttle, so you know exactly where to go and when things are getting picked up and all the times and everything. Everything's right at your fingertips. And if you need anything, reach out. Super happy to help.
Nice. Thank you so much for coming on. Thanks for giving the information. Looking forward to this. Looking forward to seeing you. Haven't seen you since last year, so I'm looking forward to seeing you and seeing what you've done this year as far as compared to last year.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to a critique, and thanks for having me on. And I appreciate sharing the information, as well as just really looking forward to seeing everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. And we will see you this week.
Awesome. Have a great night, guys.
You too. Yep. Take care. So what do you think? You're excited?
Well, I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah.
Definitely want to check it out. And I think the World Cup is a real thing in terms of interest, leveling up everyone. There's a lot of talk of looking in that direction. I kind of look at it like the WNBA. It definitely was not my lane, but then there's Caitlin, and there's this light shining on it, and I think that's going to be the same thing next year with soccer. So it's probably a little too late, or getting towards too late to really be in, but it's going to be hot next year.
Yeah. And it's gonna be interesting too, because I know the prices have been down now. So I see a couple of people said in here, who should we be buying? I would say, right, like anything else, if somebody says who should I buy in the WNBA? It's always Caitlin, right? So I mean, here you go for the biggest names, right? But I think if you can't go wrong, right? I was talking with Zip earlier, and I said we need to get a soccer guy on to tell us who we should be buying, for next year, if that's really a play.
Yeah, this ain't it.
Yep.
he ain't it.
So we're going on to our next guest. We see him there. Jonathan, are you all set? Give me a thumbs up. He is all set. We are going to add him in.
What's up?
Hey.
And you know what? We're going to call you John, so we don't get confused with the John and Jonathan. How's that?
The two Jonathans podcast doesn't work. You got to have a John and a Jonathan.
It's like a law firm. It's Big Ken and Jonathan.
And Jonathan and I are both JONs, not JOHNs. So not to be confused with the porta potties that you might use, or other things that we've been called in our childhood. I'm sure you had the same problem I did growing up. So different kind of John, JON. There we go.
Yes, we've heard it all.
So thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
We are just a few days away from the national, and I know you were a wealth of information on the impromptu interview back in May. I'm sure there may be some more information since then. So thought who not better than to bring you in, right, and give us all the information we need to know about trade nights and anything else. I mean, I know you've got, you hear things, things are going on, not just a trade night. I mean, I know you know a lot, so we figured you're the guy to bring on so we can get all the good information.
Sounds good. No, happy to answer questions. Happy to, kind of just share my love for the show. I mean, the Nationals, unlike any other, people keep it's a thing that everyone compares everything to, right? So, and there's a reason for that. It's that one chance that we get. And I was just hearing your previous guest talking about this is like, it's like summer camp and getting to see all your friends again. I mean, I was like, yes, and that's exactly what this is too. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting together with a lot of folks. I was trying to explain, I went to a show earlier today in Milford, Connecticut, and I was explaining to someone there who's never been in the National before, who won't go this year, but is swearing he will go next year. I was explaining to him exactly like how overwhelming it is when you walk in that room for the first time and when you visit the first 10 tables. This is people bringing their A game. This is the best of the best. This is the stuff that you hear these stories about and never expect. And what I did today for him, I don't remember the username of the person that I showed, but I showed him someone's story, and it was probably 20 or 25 videos that they did just showing their national inventory, going through all the cards they're going to bring, already priced out, ready to go. And we're talking everything from Jordan autographs to Kobe patches to Tom Brady contenders rookies to the rarest of the Mahomes. And I showed this to him and his jaw was dropping. And I said, but that's one table. And there are so many more tables at that caliber that it's overwhelming. And a lot of this is just like, I'm not even like, I've been operating at such like a high speed right now in advance of it because I do video work for the National. I do work for wcocards. I do work for a lot of folks that's feeding into this.
Yep.
And then I have people that I only get to see once a year. I have people that have reached out to me who are going to drive from 2 states over to meet me and do a deal with me at the show. Like there is so much coordination that goes on leading up to it that I haven't like fully realized that it's going to happen in a couple of days. Like it's not, that hasn't hit yet. And so much of it just becomes prep. And it's important to prep. And I think a lot of people, they don't think about the preparation. And I think that the number one thing folks should be doing before they go is deciding what it is that they want out of the show. I mean, it sounds simple. Mm-hmm. And you may have gone to the East Coast National before. You may have gone to shows at Mohegan Sun. I'm just thinking about things that are local to us here, but like, you may have gone to Dallas before. I mean, you may have gone to all sorts of different things and experienced a room where there were 200 or 300 vendors and you feel like it's manageable. I know the kinds of cards I'm looking for. It's not. You need to like really narrow it down. Yep. I use this example. I won't use names and I won't give the specific card, also to not give away identity. But a friend of mine went to the National for the first time a few years ago and walked in the room. He had a $2,000 budget, I think. And within 10 minutes, he had come back to me. Oh yeah. More than all gone. He had come back to me with a single card and told me that he had to move money from his savings and he spent $10,000 on it. First 10 minutes in, blew his budget by 5x in 10 minutes. No joke, no exaggeration. Incredible. But that's just because he had never even seen that card in his life before. It wasn't even on his radar to even think that it would be available to him. He had never held it, and he fell in love with it instantly, and then he bought it. Yep. And that's the thing. Like people, if you go with a list, and that's like my number one tip every year. If you go with a list, even if it's short or even if it's long, like it narrows it down for you and really focuses you in on those things. Because that first 10 tables you see in the first 10 minutes, you are going to find something you like. And at a small show, you would have bought it. Totally would have bought it. But at this show, you should wait unless it's on your list, So that's what I always tell people, like that's really, and so for me, I haven't made that list yet. I'm only halfway through my list. So it's not done. I literally print a list and I bring it with me. Like the American, like if you ever watch American Pickers and the pickers go out and they have that list of things they buy, I do that. And I don't hand it out and give it to people. I make multiple copies, but I usually laminate one. And I show it to folks when I see a table. I'm like, they tend to have the stuff that I like. Yeah. Maybe there's something here that's behind the table that they don't put out yet that's on my list. Yep. Let me hand them the list. They look down and they're like, oh yeah. One guy, I was working on the Hot Shot set. It's a really tough basketball set with a big flame and everything. And he had like half the set on him, but it was in his car. And so he went out to his car and brought it in. Like never would have seen it, never would have gotten it had I not had that list. So that's a major thing. But anyway, so I digress. Lots of excitement, lots of fun. Hasn't hit me yet that it's happening in a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, setting up, I've seen the same thing. What I thought was amazing, I used to see people show up all the time and just have a printout, right? Just printed out 100 or 200 copies, would just walk up to the table and just hand it to you. And it said, these are the cards I'm looking for. This is my phone number. This is my Instagram. Like, message me. I'm here. I'm here till Friday or here till Sunday or whatever. And instead of standing there, like, especially when it was busy, just kept handing. I mean, I had a stack of papers. I maybe didn't look at all of them, but I thought to myself, if I did have the time to read through it, it would probably, I probably could have helped somebody out. Right. And one other thing I want to comment on is every national I set up at, right. Every national that I went to, I set up at. Last year was my first time not setting up. And, I've been doing this, sports card lessons, the podcast, everything. Right. I showed up to walk that show in Cleveland, and I left with a list of things of all the mistakes I made. And one of them was a list, not having, because sometimes all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I'm collecting that set, but I don't remember which one I need out of that set. Right. So I've done this list. I have a whole list that I've been typing out, and, all the different cards and everything I'm looking for, and trying to be more prepared than I was last year.
Got to narrow it down, right? I mean, that's the thing, because there are cards you're going to find there that you didn't know existed even.
Yeah.
And that's a tough thing. I've been to shows before. A friend of mine came out and he showed me this LeBron James exquisite numbered at a 2. And I'm like, what? And then he's like, did you even know this existed? I'm like, no, I had no clue. And he goes, well, you didn't, because I have the other one too. And he brings up the other one. I'm like, of course, you have both of them. You own the entire print run. Yeah. But that's something that happens at this show. I mean, you're just going to see stuff that's totally nuts.
Yeah, the amount of times that I've told people you have to go to the national once is dozens. And I think that's kind of a shallow advice, because I think of the first national and what I'm going to do this year, and they're different trips. I walked into that room sort of like your friend, and oh my God, like everything is in front of you. So planning, a little bit different each year, and sort of getting a little bit of experience, because it is 4 or 5 days, whatever you want to make of it, but it goes by quick, and people are savvier than you. They're going to walk around you. So you got to know where to go and who to hit, and, have a plan. So yeah, I think that my first year and this year are going to be, a gulf of a difference of a trip. So I'm excited.
And this show does differ too from a lot of other shows, I think, too, in just that you can't expect everybody to go buy comps at this show. Like you're going to see some cards here that are high-end cards that are going to have high-end prices, that are just not going to, there's no recent comp in 2 or 3 years, or maybe there is one, but the guy that has that card's like, guess what? You're never going to find another one, And so there's some different expectations. There's some vendors that you'll recognize from your home local area, but even they might be operating different than they normally operate, like in the way that they set up and the kinds of things they bring, just because they know it's a different market. They know it's international, and know people are coming in from all over the place. So it's just kind of not only making the list in that case, but also knowing what you're willing to pay, because you may have to pay over comps for something that's, pretty much everything I look for, I end up having to pay over comps for. So but that is the way it is, like, and just understanding that if you really want that thing and you want that more than the money, then it's worth it to you, and that's fine,
Especially if it's a
Constantly.
card on your list you've been looking for a while, right? And sometimes they come up and they'll sell for astronomical, or sometimes they don't even come up, right? And then all of a sudden you
Yeah.
go in and you see one in, and here's the one step beyond that, because this happened to me at Fanatics Fest. I saw the card and I said, you know what, I probably should buy that card, because it is a card on my list to buy, right? And I said, you know what, I negotiated, we didn't get to the right price, and I thought, I'll come back, and I left, and halfway home all I could think about was, why didn't you buy that card, right? And
You
now I'm
wanted it more,
now it's on my list for the national, right?
and now
Hopefully
you'll
I'll
probably pay what that guy was wanting for it too. I mean, it look, it changes, right? Like, this all evolves. So I mean, I mean, right now, like, I'm looking for, I need Vince Carter in the Dunk and Go Nuts set is one of the things I need, but I need it clear. Like, I'm building that set, and every card in that set is clear, like very, very clear. And so that's the main thing. I don't care what grade it is. It can be an 8. I don't care, but it needs to be clear. So
yeah. And Howard asks, what's on your list besides that? What's on your
list? I mean, there's a ton of stuff on my list. It's too long to list, unfortunately. I build a lot of sets, Howard. So it's like, that's where most of my list lands. And then an alternate thing I had on there was, I didn't have a Wemby autograph yet, but I actually bought one yesterday now. So that's coming off the list. I felt like this is probably the right time to buy one. Finally, his stuff was way too expensive. They were all $1,000, $2,000 for his rookie autographs for too long. So I finally got one for $600. Great. Done. Check. I wanted one. I saw him at Fanatics Fest. He did a deal on the booth, like, right across from us. And then I got to see some stuff backstage with him, with Kevin Hart. And so, like, for those memories, I wanted an autograph of him. So.
Nice. So at the national, I know you're working on the trade night. You said you're working on some other things with them. So when the national actually gets here, when you actually get there Tuesday, Wednesday, are you working during the day, or now are you off the clock, on the clock?
I'm capturing video, both for Roadshow Cards, and I'm going to be capturing video for the national as well. So lots of content capture. Not your stereotypical Instagram, like, deal content, not that kind of stuff, but really capturing the environment, capturing the people, showcasing some great cards. It's stuff like that. That, you could look at a year from now and go, oh, that's really interesting, and not go, oh, that card's not worth that now. Just really focusing kind of on long-term,
evergreen,
more emotional videos than transactional videos. So doing a lot of that kind of stuff, helped with some of the planning of the trade nights. The first night, Thursday night, is going to be Roadshow Cards and Card Collector 2, along with PSA this year. So PSA is sponsoring that as well, and will be in the room to accept submissions, which is crazy.
Wow!
At the same rate as the national.
I don't know what the rates are going to be at that, and I don't know. I don't know any details beyond the fact that they are literally building a semi-permanent structure, like they have on the floor at the national. They're going to have a space up in the trade night that's built out actually as well. So, like,
it's going to be a photo mat booth.
I'm telling you, it would be cool though. Like, it's exciting to see the evolution of this, because this trade night stuff started 9 years ago with Jimmy from Roadshow Cards and Ryan Card Collector 2, who, had a group of people. It was like 8 or 10 people in a bag of pretzels. Jimmy always says, like, the pretzels outnumbered the people, and then it grew every year, like, they just, more people showed up, and then, Jimmy rented a conference room, and then more people showed up, and then they rented a hotel ballroom, and then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And when I started getting involved with it, like, we were doing very large ballrooms, 4,000 people, 5,000 people, 6,000 people showing up, getting, autograph signers to come in the room, and doing all this. Like, Jimmy was really sitting there footing the bill up front, because he believed in this as something that, would resonate with people. And it got to the point where they were outlaying like tens of thousands of dollars and finally started to say, hey, can we get some sponsorships, not to make money, but to like offset some of the cost of this?
Yeah.
Because like it's great to throw a party for people, and it's not even a party because there's like not like food and drinks in the past ones. Like there were certain years, but we actually cut that down, and then now it's turned into like a party again.
Yeah.
So a lot more brands involved now, but really at its core, it is what it was. It's a safe place where people can come, trade, see each other, and like some of the things I'm seeing like on message boards and stuff, like there are people making the trip in, buying a ticket to the show during the day just so they can come to the trade night at night. Like they are coming for the trade night, which is crazy. And we're all honored when we hear stuff like that, that's how much this has become such a popular piece.
Yeah.
But it's one of the coolest things I've ever experienced.
Mhm.
You know,
And
you get to see so many people. It's different inventory than what you saw during the day, because it's most of it is people that are just, grabbing a table, they big round tables there and putting the cards that they've been walking around with in those cases all day long now finally see the light of day. And so it's like it's almost a second show. At night, shorter show, more compressed, a lot more trading, and just awesome. It's so I look forward to it every year.
It evens the playing field, right? I mean, that's what I always say about a trade night. There's nobody's paid for the table on either side of the table. So now evens things out. Yeah.
It does. Yeah, because no one's the vendor anymore. No one's
Ken and I were talking earlier. We're going to bring cards, but not necessarily to trade during the national, but for the trade nights. I mean, that's where that's where you get the one for one.
Yeah. That's the way to go. And I think this is also, I think it's great to see the national supporting it in such a big way, because I think there's been, and talking with the folks that organize it and working with them over the last couple of years, I think there's, everyone always is like, oh, I wish I could set up a table there. I can never get a booth. They're sold out, and they know that, and it pains them too, and this is kind of that bridge where it says, hey, here's for a few hours, you can put your own cards out. Here's a zone. Cause like, even if you couldn't get a table because the wait list is so long and it's already sold out, and it's very hard to get in with the limited amount of space that they have, even though they did expand it this year beyond anything we've seen in the past years. It still gives that bridge opportunity, which I think is so important, especially for the next generation. That for folks that don't know, like to get a table at the national, it's based on seniority. It's based on how long you've had a table at the national, which makes sense. On its face value, it totally makes sense, because people that have been doing it longer, just as any local show, you would be grandfathered in, you get your same spot, all that kind of stuff. But it's hard when the hobby has grown so much and it's still in the same venue, even though the venue rooms have expanded a little bit, it's still in the same place, to fit that in when, the hobby has grown 4, 5, 6x and the room hasn't, and so stuff like this, I think, is an awesome opportunity. And I think they're conscious of that. And I think that they're doing the right thing in supporting it, and not just taking it as one night, which is what it used to be. We always had the Thursday night was Roadshow and Card Collector 2, but now expanding it into 3 nights. So Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. And they're jam-packed. Giveaways every night, at least $25,000 a night in giveaways. It's going to be more than that, I'm fairly certain, from what I've heard. You're going to have celebrities coming by, athletes. You're going to have breaks in the room. And look, a lot of people are going to be doing their own thing at that same time, and that's totally fine. But there's something there that is going to attract your eye and just be more stories come from these trade nights than come from the show floor. Like the things that I hear about a year, 2 years, 3 years later, it's really, it's predominantly comes from that stuff. It's the relationships, it's the social aspect. So I just love that they do it. I love being a part of it. I love promoting it, and really looking forward to it.
Now, did I hear this correctly? Is there going to be like sections of the room for different sports at trade night?
Yeah, I believe it's being done the same way as last year. So last year, that's exactly what we had done. There were separate zones that actually were signed out, like had big signage that said basketball here, baseball here, WWE, stuff like that. I believe that's how it's being done again. I haven't seen the mock-up for the signage, but I believe that's what's going to happen again. I think that was a success last year. So you can kind of find your people.
Yeah,
people that you don't know yet, but
you have a WNBA sign up there.
Get a what sign?
Well, you have a WNBA sign up there?
We should. That I'll find out. I'll get you the whole list, but we should. I mean, it is basketball still, whether it's NBA or WNBA. But but no, I think that's an interesting piece. I mean, Women of the Hobby is sponsoring I believe it's a Saturday night. And so so they'll be there as a host on one of those nights. And so I mean, certainly I would hope that we'll have a special section for women's sports as well. So
yeah, definitely looking forward to it. And it's exciting too. You know, you see the Facebook groups, and now this is the first year I see a lot of people like putting things together. Like, hey, reach out to me. Let's get together. We'll try to get a table at or 2 tables or whatever. We've got all these people and all these. We can get our own trade night going over there. So there's a lot of that going on now. Where
trade night within the trade night, basically. Yep.
Yeah. Well, the last couple of years, it was like people trying to get just get into the trade night, right? Never the mind, like when we get there, this is what we'll do. It's like, man, I just hope I get through the doors of the trade night. But now there's going to 3 nights of opportunities, and you're going to tell people how they're going to gain entrance into that trade night.
So I mean, certainly general public getting there early is important. You need to have a badge from the National. You need to have a ticket from the National that day to get in. But lining up early is a very great tip. Roadshow cards, and I would say Card Collector 2 likely will as well. But I know for sure, we did it last year as well. Roadshow cards will have access bracelets that are going to be available to booth. The booth is 1912. It's located kind of down from PSA. It's right near, there's a concession stand and a couple of restrooms. But if you're looking at a map, it's kind of the bottom right. Main floor, like I said, down from PSA and over from Starbucks. So if Starbucks is here and PSA is here, it's like right here. Like, so it's just over like that. I think I did that in a way that comes out correctly on video, going in the right direction. I did the opposite of what it actually is on my side. So I think that works. That I would say Thursday morning or mid-morning, Thursday, we should have some bracelets there. So stop by the booth, ask. You can always ask, come back a little bit later.
It's going to be like Gladiator in there, people running to that room. I know that's the first place I'm going Thursday morning.
I will say, I mean, I will say, like, for the actual event itself, security has been very, very, very good in the past too. It's very organized. The bracelet piece is the easy entry in, so you don't have to worry about it. You can get there right at the time that it opens, and there's going to be a separate line for folks with bracelets to come in. But otherwise, if you don't get a bracelet, just line up early. I mean, it's worth spending an hour or 2 in line to get into that piece, and have the evening. It's from 6 to 11 p.m. It's a nice long trade night. Yeah. And as people leave, they'll let more people in. So, so you have that kind of cycle that's going. That's good as well. But to your point, we actually saw there was a wrestling trade night that used to be done separately. Like they rented a restaurant somewhere and did that. And we pulled them into the trade night last year. They set up in the wrestling section. And got all those folks in, like, was pre-set up ahead of time. So there are a few groups like that we see that we're kind of thinking about organizing outside and then deciding, well, why don't we just see if we can do it with the official one and just have a set of tables in the room in one section and do it. And that was a nice success last year too. Having that there, because then they're exposed to everything else that's going on in the room too. And you can get the prizes, and obviously now you get access to the grading companies, and all that too. So
what kind of giveaways are we looking at?
I don't know the details. I know there's a lot of wax. I don't know the details of like any grand prize or anything yet. Has not been announced to me. I know a lot of that stuff is, it's coming from sponsors. I imagine it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's every year, like, we've had great partners for that kind of stuff, and it's just grown so much, in the last 2 years, that the National getting involved on that side where they hadn't before. Like they officially sanctioned it when we were doing it 3 and 4 years ago. But they had nothing to do with the actual planning or execution of it. The new management that came in said, hey, this is really great. Why don't we put some more behind it and make it even better if we can, and so they got more involved and are really running that piece of it now. So, you know, Roadshow and Card Collector 2 get to come and host it, you know, and do their thing and bring in the folks and create that great warm environment as they always have. But the National is really backing it now. So
yeah, and it's great to have them backing, and it was good to see when the new management came in that they were really on board for that, you know, and as you can see, year after year, just like all of us, year after year, we get better, we make it better every year, right? So it's only going to get better. Yeah.
There's a ton of charm in this show for folks that haven't been to the show before. I know a lot of people are comparing it to Fanatics Fest, which I think is totally unfair. First of all, I mean, the cost difference is insane. I mean, like if you look at the ticket price between a day at Fanatics Fest and a day at the National, you're like talking 3 times as much to go to the Fanatics Fest than to go to the National. Like the National is very big about not raising ticket prices. On the other side, for dealers, they're very big on not raising the prices for dealers either. You know, like this is, they've tried to keep things, you know, affordable and I think that goes a long way in being able to create that and continue that environment. You know, the market's gone nuts in the last several years, but the National has been one of those constants that's really great. There's a backbone of that. I think we will see with the new management that's been in there in a couple of years now, and you know, this will be the second one with the, you know, second rollout with them. I think we're going to see more and more modernizations though to this, keeping the charm of what it was. But they're not afraid of technology. They're not afraid of, you know, I mean, you look at the athlete list at this year and it's insane. You know, Giannis is going to be there and like all these, it's just, it's a great list of athletes and guests. I think you may see more, of those kind of athlete interactions and stuff than you've seen in the past at this show. You know, if they can do it, they'll do it, you know, and I think they're very open to, you know, to just growing the show more and more, and not just in numbers like that. They have the numbers. I mean, this show's been, you know, like one of those sellout shows for a while now. It's very popular, but bringing in just the extras and anything they can do to really up the game, up the feel. Just look at the corporate area and how that's changed in the last few years. I mean, night and day from, you know, my first National like 10 years ago to what it is now. It's like, wow, you know, like, so I think we're going to see more and more of that while keeping the charm that it's always had, you know, and being that one destination that if you had to pick one place, you know, over the course of the year to go to buy cards, sell cards, talk cards.
Yeah.
This is it. So,
yeah. And I like the location. I do. I of the 3 locations I've been to, this will be my 3rd time back to Chicago. Right. I just think the location is phenomenal.
The hotels and the restaurants, it's there. You don't have to drive.
Yeah.
And that's
the best part. I mean, you think back last year, right? The parking in Cleveland,
getting into the National.
Yeah, an hour you're sitting in traffic that's only like 3/4 of a mile. People were walking faster than you were getting in. I saw people getting out of Ubers and just walking, you know, 3/4 of a mile.
That was me.
Yeah.
I pulled in. I'm like, I have the VIP, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Just keep driving. Just go park somewhere.
Well, I think that's one of the
said that venue I loved from a venue standpoint. I know it's smaller, but like that and Atlantic City are both big rectangles, and it's super easy to navigate. You really need to download the Ludex app for this show because, and everyone should, because it has an interactive map on it. This thing's like a giant triangle. The numbers don't make sense. Like our roadshow table, 1912, there are only 4 tables in the 1900s that exist on the entire map. It's very confusing. And so like, you can't just follow down the 1900 row and find us. No, we're a small clump by the bathroom. Like it's strange. And the 3000s are here and the 2000s are here and the 1000. It's just, so you really need to look at that map. It's free. You can download their app for free. That's what I loved about the other venues was when you were in the venue, it's easy.
Yeah. You could see
this
from
venue,
one end of the room to the other. Yeah.
Yeah. This venue, I don't love the venue as much, but I love the location of everything around it.
And the
You feel
size,
safe.
I think the size matters. You have to accommodate the
Yes.
growing industry, and the more there's 70 additional tables upstairs, so they have the ability to scale this event that Cleveland did not, Atlantic City did not. So yes, it's
Absolutely.
not a straight grid, but okay. The map
But
is
you have
great,
a
by the
map
way.
that's free you can download and you can find and you can
The
search on
the
it, which
map
is
is
really
great.
cool.
Putting
Yeah,
favorites of what dealers you want to go to. I mean, it really, they stepped it up, I think, this year. It was great.
totally. Totally. Again, not afraid of tech. Like, we will see more and more of these improvements, I think. And that comes from partners, right? Like there was a lot of talk when I first started working with this new team 2 years ago now about them developing their own, like going out and doing their own app and their own map and this kind of stuff initially. But instead they went with a partner in this case. And what a great partnership that is, you know. And I
Yeah.
think that there's, you know, I always say if it's already in, you know, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. If there's something there that's already there that's good, like partner up and use it. Like we don't have
Yeah.
to do it on our own. It's not to say that we'd be able to do it better anyway, you know,
Yeah.
like so I love that. I love that. And I think it's just gonna be a ton of good stuff this year.
I have to say that I know that app they had last year was very difficult. And then when somebody said, no, they got the app, I'm like, oh, that thing was terrible last year. No, I'm not getting involved with that. And then somebody's like, download it, just check it out. And and it is very good. The one thing which I'll never understand, who made up the table numbers? I mean, I was trying to count how many table numbers. They start at 200, but they never all go in a row. Like somehow there's some like 220s,
It's
270s.
really strange.
Yeah.
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 I have
I've
no
never
idea
seen
who
anything
handles
like
that,
it.
but it is a very strange numbering system. And like I said, the rows are in there's certain portions of it, like you can go like a good 8 or 10 rows where it makes sense in one zone. But then like, yeah, it's just, and part of it is a venue. It is like, if you look at it, when you get the guide, I don't know if I have it here, but like when you get the guide, oh, I do. I have it here. Like when you look at it on the program, like you zoom out and you see like, it's a triangle. This is not like, that's a venue. I'm not, you know, like I'm not kidding when I say it's a triangle. And when I tell people that, they're like, "How can that possibly be?" No, it is. It's a triangle. You enter in the middle here, and then you enter one way, you're going this way. You enter the other way, you're going. It's just,
Yeah.
you know. So.
I know. I was lost. I'm always lost in that place. And you know what? The only way I found it was exiting. If I never knew really where I was, I would just exit out and I'd loop around and come back in the main entrance because then I knew how to get to everything from there. Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing, by the way, so this program's from a couple of years ago in Chicago. These programs are free. They're sitting by the door. No one ever takes them. You should take them. Like they're there. So they're cool. It's neat to look back and see what vendors were there and what they were advertising and what kind of cool things around. Like, and it's great to read on the plane. So, you know, pushing the program. Hopefully they have the program again this year. I don't know who does that, but now that I've plugged it, I hope it's there.
Jonathan has a collection of vintage programs.
Yeah, right. We'll find an athlete and get him to sign it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Get Jordan to sign I'd have other things that have Jordan sign first, other than a program.
Yeah, right. Maybe not Jordan. Maybe not Giannis either.
Yeah. Yep.
We had a Cardboard Collaborative asking about the air conditioning last Chicago. It was pretty warm, but they fixed all that, right? Technology.
Supposedly, yeah. No, we all saw the imagery of it coming in, and hopefully that's the case. This seems to be like, no matter where we are, it always feels like it's the same with it's cell phone signal, it's Wi-Fi, it's some of these things like you can't, and people don't get this because they get frustrated because they live their lives normally and then they're not usually in a room with 100,000 people. But like,
right.
But it's like when you go to a concert, it's the same thing. Like your cell phone, if everyone's trying to stream, you know, the Coldplay show, you know, up while they're there, I had to pick Coldplay. You know, if they're all doing it at once, there's no bandwidth left. You know, like you've sucked it all up and no one's phones work.
Yeah.
It's the same thing here with Wi-Fi. Everyone's comp checking or streaming or doing whatever they're doing, and it's just not.
Yeah, like, get there Wednesday.
I was going to say, doesn't care about the Coldplay concert, but I mean, when you're at a card show, everybody needs to be comping cards, right?
It's sad though, Ken. I wish it weren't that way. I really do. And I'm hoping we get back, not to sit on my, preaching stand at this point, but like I really hope that someday that all of us can go to shows and just buy things for what we think they're worth and not have to take, me included, not have to take out their phone and make us feel good about what we're buying. I mean, like it's like a crutch like that we're like leaning on all the time now.
Yeah.
It's like when the kids learn how to do multiplication on their calculators and then they don't know how to do it any math anymore without them. I feel like that's like us out here. And I'm like, well, I've been in this industry for 30 plus years. Like I should know what cards are worth that I want to buy. And if I don't know what they're worth, then why am I buying them?
Yeah.
Like, what am
But
I doing?
I would say there's probably a high percentage. I'm going to throw 50, 60% of people who are in the hobby that came in the last 5 years, right? That
I would agree.
This is all they know.
That's all they know. Yeah.
And you have people talk about the old Beckett books and the pricing and all that stuff. And they're like, oh, yeah, whatever, old man, get out of here.
Why would that grading company tell you what prices the cards are? Yeah.
Yeah, PSA is going to start giving us going to be the PSA magazine with pricing.
Well,
they have it. They had it.
Yeah, I was going to say like we're getting repacks from them now. So,
what does he say here? He said, "I like when the Wi-Fi is down because people are forced to actually have to figure values out without Palm Crutch." Yep.
It's all right. There's not much haggling at the National. You're paying close to sticker.
It's true for most people. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So
are you a little debate? Do you go in there with more cash, more cards when you go? What's your?
I haven't decided yet. For this year, generally it's more cash than cards because I like buying a lot more than I like selling. So I'm a collector. There you go. But this year, like I thought, like I started comping out. It is a bad Ken. Like I went down this spiral of looking the comps up on what some of my Jordan stuff's worth because I have like 4,000 Jordan cards and I have a bunch of the inserts from back in the day and I know what I paid for them and I don't think about it much because they're cool and I have them in my collection and they're going to stay in my collection. But then I like start looking at cards I spent $200 on that are now $3,000 and I'm like, they're not really worth $3,000 to me. So taking my own advice, does that now mean I probably should sell them because I'd rather have the money than the card in that case? And then I've been going through this for the last 2 days. Like, do I take a bunch of cards with me actually this time on stuff like that? I don't have a lot into it. But the market has exceeded where I play in those, like it is like people value them higher than I do now. So that seems like maybe they're not the appropriate thing for me to be in anymore. Maybe I need to move to something else,
Well, your son's going to say, look at all the Pokemon I can get with one of these.
He is going to say that. You're right. Well,
just a couple of those.
$3,000 for that card. You know how many ETBs I can open? Yeah, that's exactly what he'll say.
Yeah. So anything we didn't cover you think is important to get out there that people may need to know?
I mean, the other thing, if you haven't been there before, even if you have, it's just to realize that some vendors, have no intention to sell the cards that they brought. I know that sounds silly to folks out there that are listening to this that haven't been and have been to other shows, and they're like, what? People will actually show up and just want to show off their stuff. They don't actually want to sell it at all. And so a lot of that kind of thing is just like, realize that. Same thing too, what Jonathan was saying earlier about like, people are going to be close to sticker. I always very politely, I kind of make a benchmark when I walk up to a table as my kind of normal mode of working. I go up to a table and I find a card that I know the value of. I locate it, I see what they have it stickered, and then it tells me, are they close to the value that I have for those cards? And I know the cards to be. Are they way higher, way lower? And then that tells me kind of how is this probably going to go? Yeah. And if they don't have stickers on stuff, I'll ask them for the value of a card that I know the value of and see what they say. And same thing. It's a good litmus test, a polite litmus test. They don't realize you're doing this test at all. But you can, without like getting back and forth, because I find one of the most draining things is when someone has something that you want and they want like twice what it's worth, you're never going to get there. Neither of you are going to be happy. And it's just stupid. I'm not one that says both people have to feel pain in order for the deal to be good. Like, I'm not that mindset at all. I'm in the mindset of like, you should want, the money more than the card if I'm buying it from you, and I should want the card more than the money. And then we're both happy when we have that price, like there should be no pain. And so I think
what's an acceptable percentage for you? So say if a car is worth $300 and this card's worth $300 all day, and you ask them what's the price, what's an acceptable percent price on that?
Yeah, if they're 350 on it, then I'll talk to them about, I'll keep going at that booth. If they're at 400, I might ask for the price of another card real quick and try and figure it out. Anything above that, I'm pretty much thinking, they're probably high, and move on.
Yeah, that's good.
Are there cards, and I know you have an extensive basketball collection, but are there cards that you will pay up and through for because you want them part of your collection?
Yeah, I mean, some of the set cards like that are harder to find, yes. Some of the inserts that are like really distinctive. I mean, I haven't done a video on it yet. And some of them is just understanding that some comps are just stupid. I bought a Kobe Bryant autograph card. This is a couple of years ago now. I meant to make a video about it, and it is a problem. Like, I have a whole list of videos to make. It looks like a sweet spot on a baseball. And you might have seen them before in baseball and also in basketball, because for some reason when Upper Deck discovered they could make the stitching of a baseball look like that and everything, they did it in basketball too. So you have Michael Jordan and LeBron James and Kobe Bryant all signing baseballs. It's very strange. Jordan makes sense a little bit, but like the rest didn't make any sense. But anyway, I found this Kobe Bryant one on eBay. Auction, 99-cent auction start. I look up the comps, the exact same card. It's not serial numbered, but it is exactly the same. Like the card is not serial numbered, but it was identical. Like the autograph's identical. It is the same card. And I went back and I looked at the feedback rating. The person who bought it was now selling it 3 weeks later. And so I looked at that and I paid 50% over the latest comp of the same exact card 3 weeks later, because the initial comp was low. The guy got it for a steal of a deal. And that card was then sitting right around that price on eBay up until the last minute. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, people are so stuck on comps, they can't get out of their own way. This card is worth a ton, so I ended up paying for it, not to give all the numbers, but like what I paid for it is about 4 times less than what it's worth now. And this is 2 years ago. But it was 50% more than what it had just sold for 3 weeks previous.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just not like, you have to know, like, is like, from general card value, there was only 10 of these in the world. They weren't serial numbered, but there were only 10 in the world. Beckett lists that out, and it has like silver stitching on it and stuff. It was very distinctive. But you have to, as a collector or an investor, like, you have to know those things to be able to see that. And it doesn't matter what the last person spent on it. If the last if the last person bought a Mercedes for $10,000, that doesn't mean you shouldn't spend $15,000 on a brand new one today when they usually cost $50,000. Like, are you kidding me? Like, of course you should. Like, but people aren't getting out of their own way in those cases. And I think that that's something too, when you walk around. There is something to be said, like, and I see folks sometimes with attitude, like vendors who are like, yeah, I understand that's the comp, but try and find one. And it sounds like a jerky thing to say, but they're right. They're right. How many of that, like, all the cards I look at are like, there's like 25 or less in the world. So I get that a lot. But it's like, but they're right. Like, where are you going to find another one? And if this guy only wants to sell it for that, well, that's his price. And I can politely go away and not buy it, or I can come up to that price and buy it if I feel like it's worth it to me. So,
yeah. And knowledge in this hobby, is priceless, right? I mean, more people are looking at cards, comping cards, and buying cards that don't know anything about the card, right?
Yeah.
And it's all just coming down to the price. And when you come across something that that it is 50%, what they're asking is 50% of the value, even though the last one sold at 25% of its value, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, people aren't going to buy that, but if you know what you're buying, that's that knowledge.
Well, that's what pains me about this industry right now, honestly, is that the kids aren't leading with, tell me about this card anymore. They're leading with, tell me what it's worth. And it's not like they don't care about how rare that card is, or they don't care about what that player did in his career, or why is he called Air Jordan. They don't ask those questions. They just ask, how much is it?
What's your best?
Yeah. I'm doing the trade up challenge. Can I get that for it? Because that one looks like it has a higher price sticker than the one that I just traded for. It's just like, I feel like, I don't know. It feels wrong to me because as a kid, I was so into this and loved having the card so much that the money factor of this was such an afterthought. But yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, I can't say the money factor wasn't there at all. In seventh grade, I set up at my local school. We had a card show. All the seventh graders went out and put their cards out in the gym. So there was always a money element to it to some degree.
It wasn't the primary though, right, Jonathan? Like,
what's that?
It wasn't the primary though.
It was never the primary ever. Acquiring the card was never based on money ever. So, or what you could get for it later. But I just want to say, a few weeks ago, I had the same thing that happened to you with this Tom Brady card. Someone bought it for $1,000. I missed out on an auction, and then 2 weeks later, it came to market for $1,200. The same card, except I didn't pay the vig because I said, well, maybe I'll find it in a week and at the national, and I'll pay the $1,000. But yeah, I wasn't. I should have probably bought it, but I had this show coming up, so
it's hard because so much of us rely on this comping thing, but the comping thing is I really feel like it's so much less than even what Beckett was back in the day in terms of the price guide being the price, because it's so easily manipulated, with just one sale, 2 sales being made on a similar card. It's just, and that we had a pretty good feel that Beckett wasn't doing that to us, that they weren't changing the prices because they own some of those cards. Like that never crossed my mind when I was collecting when I was younger. So I don't know, there's just some piece of that just feels like there's too much reliance on it. I know it's like a totally different episode that we're talking about now, but but we're going to see this a lot of the national. So
well, we appreciate your knowledge on that anyways. And appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you bringing all this information. I'm super excited. I know I was talking with Jonathan today. John, you never made it to Norwalk, but I was talking to Jonathan today, and yeah, we're getting excited. And we've got our plans. We've got our booth set up. I know your booth is my first booth every morning for a trade night band. I will be there. and
just drop me a DM. Just drop me a DM too if you need. So
and what's the value on these? Do I hire a few kids to go get some for me, and I just set up outside, set up shop, and start peddling the highest bidder out there?
Oh man, we have to go after people for selling the bands. I hope not.
I'd be like, anybody got a Mahomes? I can get you into the trade night.
I think Jonathan's my first direct message on Wednesday morning when I land. Where are you? Where can I get a band?
Where can I get one? Yeah.
Somebody asked about the bracelets. We'll have bracelets.
Should be every day.
Every day.
We should have them there every day.
So it's a different band.
Friday, Saturday. They will be different colors each day. Yep.
Yep.
Last year, I looked like I went to a nightclub, like several nightclubs. My whole arm was like different color wristbands.
Yeah. Wasn't that the Taylor Swift concert, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I told my daughter. That's what I did actually when I got home.
It's much cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on. Looking
Absolutely.
forward to seeing you out there. If I don't see you at the roadshow booth, I'm going to come find you, or I'll DM you out there to definitely meet up. But this is it. Our summer camp. We're off to summer camp on Wednesday for a week or like an extended weekend. So
It'll be fun.
looking forward to it. Jonathan, anything else before we go? Jonathan, not John, but Jonathan.
I'm good. I got three. I figured out what I'm doing at night. I'm figuring out what I'm going to bring for trade night, and I'm like Jonathan said, I'm going to also cement what I want to pick up while I'm out there. So that's my goal next few days.
Good. John, anything? If anybody wants to reach out to you, they need to
just drop
talk
me a
to you.
DM on Instagram at basketball card guy.
Yeah.
And happy to talk basketball cards anytime, and national stuff. It's just great.
Great. Well, I will see you guys in a few days. Thanks for coming on, guys. I appreciate it.
Of course. Have
See
a
you,
great
Ken.
night.
See you, John.
Take care.